So this is Jeremy Knoll. I'm back with Brandon Wyckoff and Gary Downs, and we were having a conversation about post-COVID recovery, and I just wondered if you guys, what are some of the things that you're seeing requests for in terms of building retrofits and recovery? I know at BNIM we're having all kinds of conversations about proximity and distancing, but we're also trying to get our heads wrapped around building comfort systems and air conditioning, and what can we even begin to do on that front?
Yeah, we're seeing that there's just a lot of question and a lot of unknown out there, like there has been for the whole time, as a lot of us have spent probably nearly 2.5 months, maybe working from home when our jobs are normally situated in an office building. One of the things that we're seeing is that people are starting to implement their plans to return to their office environments, and those HVAC systems that were running when they left, and they're probably still running now, whether they're being maintained by a facility owner group or a service company like ourselves, those systems were kind of left high and dry. So what they're finding is they really need to go through and do their standard maintenance checks, making sure filters are still appropriately in place and not past their service life. Making sure the compressors on package systems are kicking on and off like they're supposed to, and thermostats are all working with the control system. That's all the basic stuff. But beyond that, we're hearing a lot of requests of some of the technologies that are out there that may or may not actually apply or be able to be installed with the systems that they have in place, such as the UV lights and some other things.
Yeah, one thing, just to follow up on some of the things Brandon mentioned, you're coming off of springtime weather, and that's usually one of the difficult transition points for any HVAC system. So sometimes to deal with those things, you have settings that are left and locked into, winter mode or whatever, what have you. And one thing that needs to be paid attention to is as you're coming back in post, getting back into your office spaces, you double check and make sure those systems are set up correctly to run into summertime mode operation, your dampers are operating correctly, set points are correct, and manage building humidity a lot more effectively. As you're moving from semi-dry weather into more humid weather. So you need to pay attention to those things as well.
Yeah. And then probably lastly, one of the biggest concerns for us is that although I love seeing that the CDC has come out with guidelines of what to do with your HVAC systems as you return to your offices,
sure,
a lot of those guidelines may not be that achievable depending on what climate you're in. In the Kansas City area, it's been raining cats and dogs all day. This would be a very bad day to open your HVAC systems up to try to force them into 100% outside air type of situation. So
because you'd be training so much humidity into the building all at once.
Oh, absolutely. So that's going to make for a very uncomfortable environment for the people that you're trying to get to come back to work in the office at all. So there are some very good things that are in those new CDC guidelines that just came out, such as trying to put the best filtration you can in the equipment that you have. That depends on the size of the filter racks and whatnot. But there's limitations to that. You obviously can't put a 4-inch filter in a 2-inch rack. So owners need to be aware of what their limitations are to try to accomplish those guidelines.
Cool. Well, thanks guys for a little extra conversation here. I appreciate it. I think this is sort of top of mind for a lot of folks right now as they're trying to figure out what their return to work plan is. So thanks. Absolutely. Thanks both very much for sharing your expertise.
No problem. Thank you.